Hey there, my name is Catherine, and I'm going to be sharing my testimony for this week's Testimony Tuesday for CrossView Church. So kind of just jumping right into it, I was not raised in a Christian household. I went a few times with friends growing up to like VBS and different stuff like that, but I didn't really understand what Christianity was all about. And I throughout my childhood and adolescence had a pretty negative view of church and church people and religion in general. I kind of just thought that they were pretending in life. So once I reached my late teens and kind of early adulthood, I was just very lost. I was partying a lot. I had dropped out of college. I was bouncing around in relationships and just carrying a lot of hurt and hopelessness on my shoulders, and just kind of making some poor choices in that emptiness of life. When I was 19, I became pregnant, and that was a pretty rough time. I actually went into preterm labor when I was 6 months pregnant, and that ended in a loss. And after that, it was just a very dark, broken part of my life. Shortly after my now husband, Jeremy, and I got married, and we eventually had our son, Harlan. And I think I thought that building that family would make things better. And it did, but not in the way that I think my heart needed. And I found kind of in that 2-year time span after that loss, that I was very angry with God specifically, which was weird, right? Because I said I didn't believe in God. But I found myself praying a lot, in anger, praying a lot and asking, why me? Why has this happened? And it was just a really dark time in my life. So after a time period and several conversations, Jeremy and I had been invited to a church many times by some friends of ours, and we finally said, we're married, we have a kid now, but something's still missing. So we attended Life Community Church for the first time, and I don't remember what that first sermon was about. I remember feeling very guarded about going, even though we made the decision to go. But I remember just in that first service feeling probably the most peace that I'd felt ever. And we kept going back. And eventually, I think I just had an epiphany, or just finally let my guard down enough to say, this isn't all that there is in life. There is a God. Jesus was real. He did die on the cross for us, and he's been there the whole time, and he's been with me the whole time, and he is still with me today. So my husband and I were actually both baptized on the same day. Since then, both of our kids have been baptized, and I think if anybody could get anything out of my testimony, I would just hope that they get that life is not perfect. You're not going to be perfect, and you don't have to be perfect to find faith and to find Christ or to go to church. Christ is there for everybody, especially the broken people. If you read the stories of Christ and the people that he interacted with during his ministry, they were often the shunned people, the broken people. And I think that's the biggest thing that I would want people to take away from this is you don't have to be the perfect person to know Jesus, or to even talk to Jesus or learn about Jesus, because he's right there with you in your mess the whole time. You just have to open up your heart and let him in.